Welcome everybody to the first episode of In My Bag podcast. I am B. We're here with one of the best dunkers, one of the best professional athletes of all time, in my opinion. He's a very humble man, a great friend as well, but also is very creative with his content. The one, the only, Chris Staples. Everybody hates Chris.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate you. That was dope. That was pretty cool. He just came up there on the fly, too.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
How you been, brother?
I'm good, man. Just staying busy,
Mm-hmm.
trying to figure out all the content stuff, man. Just learning the social media platforms, live streaming now. Now I'm doing that type of stuff, so.
Oh, yeah.
Been busy.
Make sure everybody to follow Chris on his Twitch. Put the links on below. And he's just getting into the Twitch system, so let's congratulate the guy.
Appreciate it. And as well as TikTok, too, so.
Oh, yeah. TikTok, Instagram,
Yes,
all his handles will be
right
on
now
there.
we live on TikTok, too, so we definitely want to shout them out as
Yeah.
well. So it's just whatever, we just learning how to do it all.
Well, first, I want to thank you for being the first guest of the In My Bag podcast.
Yes.
An idea that just started actually like 2 months ago, to be honest. But hell, I'm just trying to make it work. And I reached out. This will be the first platform, the first podcast for content creators, for sports content creators, that I want to motivate the young and the next generation, because we had Chris for a minute into the scene. We had other people as well that they will be in your seat as well, and I want to motivate the next generation of the athletes, young kids who want to be content creators on how to stay consistent as well.
Mm-hmm.
So today we're gonna talk a little bit about Chris, about his journey, about his motivation, about his inspirations as well, and maybe some ideas about what's going on with the NBA next season.
Yeah, for sure.
We got the race season coming up.
Yeah, that's gonna be exciting, man. This NBA season is gonna be dope. I'm looking forward to it, man. I know it's gonna be some big trades coming up.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we all look for. Like, the season's gonna be good, but you're like, where the trades?
Yeah.
Who getting traded this season? That's what I need to see. I feel like something's gonna happen right before the season starts. Then you got the Christmas trade, and you got right before All-Star weekend. So yeah, it's gonna be dope.
So Chris, let me ask you. You've been in the Duncan scene for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
How did you first get started?
I really got started. I would just watch. I used to work for Google. I was actually like a temp job at Google, and I used to always just be obsessed with Ep.1. I used to watch Air Up There. I used to watch The Professor. I used to watch Skip to My Lou, Bone Collector. Man, all these guys that were doing like Ep.1, Ball Up, and I was just obsessed with them, man. And watching just the reaction people would have when the slam dunking happened.
Yeah.
I didn't have the handles. I didn't have I wasn't Professor. I wasn't crossing people over. But I used to watch the reactions that people had with slam dunking, and then I became obsessed with it. Then I started watching different YouTube pages of guys like I said, Air Up There. You have Guy Dupuis, Worm, T-Dub. I used to just watch these guys on YouTube all day.
Perfect. And who would you say is your Duncan inspiration?
I would say Air Up There.
Okay.
You know who that is, right?
Yeah.
So the guy who did the 720, he was a guy that I looked up and said, man, like, he's the same height as me. He was very bold when he went online. He said, my name Torian Fontanet. I'm the highest jumper in the United States. I'm like, that's a bold statement to just say that. But then I look at his videos and I'm like, he's the highest jumper in the United States. I believe he can, but he was, he had the guts to say stuff like that. So I used to watch him and just obsessed with his dunks, and then I tried to mimic his style a little bit.
Have you ever got the chance to do any of his dunks in front of him?
Yeah, so what's funny is that we were both signed to a company called Rise. It was with Kmart. He had a custom shoe out with Kmart, and then we had a tournament, a dunk contest tournament throughout the entire summer, and the person who won the final dunk contest of the summer would get their own signature shoe with Rise, which is
okay.
And I ended up winning it, and he was one of the ambassadors of the entire tournament. So just to be able to work alongside with him was just that was a goal of mine for sure.
Yeah, and a lot of people most likely ask you all the time why you're not in the league.
Mm-hmm. I'll be straight up. People always will give you excuses. Oh, I hurt my knee. Coach didn't like me. I was a walk on, and man, I wasn't good enough. I'm going to say that. I probably didn't work hard enough. Not saying I couldn't have worked hard enough, but I don't believe I worked hard enough to make it to the league. I believe I was a late bloomer, where basketball, the IQ didn't really hit me until later in my years. But yeah, that's the reason. That's plain and simple. I didn't work hard enough. So, I didn't take it seriously for the guys who made it to the league, they were obsessed with basketball in a different way. And maybe I didn't have that beast in me and that obsession like some guys who want to make it to the league. And so I would just say that's the reason why I'm not there. But
and do you think if you've been to the league, if you entered the league at some point, not in the beginning, it doesn't have to be like an 18 or 19-year-old prodigy.
Yeah.
But let's say you got into the league at 27.
Right.
Would you still think you would be playing even to this age?
No, absolutely not. No, these dudes is no. Think about it. Okay, so I'm 38. That's the same age as Chris Paul, Al Horford. Who else is 38 in the league?
Well, of course we got LeBron, but he's like 40. But like,
see, okay, so that's three people right there. So, and those guys are on the. Chris Paul is in his final season, which you said pretty much. Al Horford probably in the same boat.
Mm-hmm. You got Jeff Green as well.
Jeff Green. So these people, and I think if I was in the NBA at this age still, I would have been on my 15th team probably. I would be an end of the bench player. I am, I'm 6'2". Mm-hmm. So I would be considered small.
Yeah.
In the league. I hear the siren, but I would be a small older guard in the league, and I just don't think that pans out well. But in my field of slam dunking, I'm not looked at as the guy at the end of the bench. Yeah. I'm not searching for certain teams. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I would like to make it to the NBA, but everything happens for a reason. I'm glad it played out the way it is because in my field, I'm the LeBron, the Steph Curry, the Kevin Durant. Like I'm one of those type of guys. Yeah. That I still book events. I still get invited to a lot of shows and things like that. So I'm not searching for opportunity. Opportunity kind of comes my way.
True. As you mentioned, the Duncan, you considered a legend in the Duncan scene throughout the years. My biggest question, one of the first biggest questions that for me is, how did you come up with the name Everybody Hates Chris? And why everybody hates Chris? Everybody loves Chris, I think.
No, I'm of course not everybody, but I appreciate people that support me. I just think when I first came into the game, it was just more about the guy that you love to hate. Mm-hmm. And you got to create some type of drama. You got to create some type of rivalry. I would talk trash. Also, I love the show Everybody Hates Chris. When I first started like social media, I put Chris Staples, but I'm like, man, it's like a few Chris Staples out there. One, it's like a guitar singer. His name is Chris Staples, and he's much more famous than I am. So I'm competing with that. Then there's a Chris Stapleton.
Oh yeah, another singer I think or something like that.
Yeah, I think he's a singer too. He performed at the Super Bowl. I'm like, okay, I don't want to, I don't want people to mess up the name. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do something a little bit different. So I just threw Everybody Hates Chris as a favorite TV show. My name's Chris, and we're gonna go from there.
And actually worked out.
It worked out, yeah.
Now, do you have any favorite dunk? I know that you did crazy dunks. I've seen them live as well. Mm-hmm. Do you have any specific dunk that is your favorite? That has like a personal story for it or behind it?
I would say the Christ air dunk when I'm jumping up and I like pause in the air for a second, I kind of like a little pose and then I dunk it. It's like, it's like a delayed dunk. I like that dunk because it's one of my most viral dunks. Mm-hmm. And then during the 2020 NBA Slam Dunk Contest, Dwight Howard reached out to me and he wanted me to help him work on a dunk, and that was one of the specific dunks that he liked. He actually performed it in the dunk contest, and he got a low score for some reason. But later on, people were like, no, this dunk was low key underrated. A lot of people were saying that, like, man, we gave him a bad score, but if you look at it in slow motion, you're like, that's pretty cool.
That's the thing. All the dunks, like in a dunk contest specifically, all the dunks when you see them happening so fast, you be like, alright. But when you see it in slow mo, that's when the actual show happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
And speaking of dunk contest, do you think that in this day and age, because dunk contest has been having so many changes, dunkers being so many, the dunkers lately, they've been so much creative, especially like Mac McClung.
Yeah.
After 2016, that dunk off between Zach LaVine and Errol Gordon, do you think the bar is too high right now?
Oh, I think the bar is it's way too high. And I think that's why a lot of the stars who can dunk really well don't want to compete, because they're like, the bar is too high. You guys got too much. People got too many expectations, and for these dunkers, and I feel bad for them. And that's why I can see why like a John Moran or Anthony Edwards are like, no, I'm okay, because you get nothing out of it. People are quick to boo if someone misses a slam dunk, and I'm like, it's kind of messed up, because like in the 3-point contest, let's say in the 3-point contest, you miss your first 5 shots.
Yeah.
Okay, but then let's say you go on a 5-0 streak where you make 5 in a row. Everyone forgot about your first rack.
Exactly.
Everyone forgot about it, and your score still can be good. You shooting 30 shots. You getting 30 shots. You might make 22. You missed 8 shots, but no one's mad about the 8 misses. That can't happen in a dunk contest.
Yeah.
And when a dunk contest starts, I don't know if you remember this, but like when the 3-point contest starts, it's like 3, 2, 1, ready, go. And then they have like some music going and stuff like that. Like, it's like fun.
Yeah.
In a dunk contest, they turn all the lights down. It's just you.
Just you in the basket with the judges.
They have this drum roll. And you're like, man, it's All-Star weekend. These dudes are probably like, I was going to go out. I went out last night. I got to go do this dunk contest. It's just a lot of pressure. I was there, like, on the floor, and my hands were sweaty, and I'm not even dunking.
Oh, man.
So, I just feel like it's just too much pressure. They need to make it more fun. I feel like they should do like a relay dunk contest where you don't have to be as creative with the dunks, because everyone wants to see all these impossible dunks that these NBA players do not practice.
Yeah.
In a 3-point contest, you're shooting a regular 3-point shot. Like everybody in the NBA practices 3-pointers. Not everybody practices dunks.
Exactly. Yeah.
So not creative dunks.
Yeah, not creative dunks. They can dunk though, but not that creative.
But being creative, like you're not doing a creative 3-pointer. You're doing a basic 3-point shot.
True. And if you had the chance to do a dunk contest, like choose 4 dunkers all time that they can compete or they should compete in a dunk contest, if you would build it up all time.
4 dunkers. Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay.
That that they would put on a show.
Oh yeah. Okay. I'm gonna say Jason Richardson.
Okay. Jay Rich.
Yeah. Jay Rich. I gotta say Vince Carter. Then it gets kind of tricky from here, but I'm gonna. Well, not really. I'm gonna say Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon.
Oh, okay.
I want to pull all 4 of them in the dunk contest. I'm like, this is about to go crazy.
This is going crazy. Now, Vince Carter, he retired lately. He's been regarded as he's been considered as the best in-game dunker of all time.
Yeah.
Have you ever dunked in front of him?
Okay, all right. There's a funny story. So I met Vince Carter back in like 2017 or something like that. Actually, he picture's right behind you. But okay. So I met Vince Carter before, but then for this particular event, I went to the Clippers game, and Vince Carter, it was his last season, and it was Chinese New Year, so it was the Clippers versus the Hawks. Jeremy Lin was the big name that day because it's the Chinese New Year. He's the only Asian in the NBA at the time. I get to do a timeout. During the time, I get to do a slam dunk.
Okay.
So I'm doing a slam dunk. I dunked the ball. We're at the Clippers arena, but I got a Vince Carter jersey on under my shirt because I'm like, man, Vince Carter's like one of my idols. So I do the dunk. I point out to Vince Carter. He see me like, yo, what's up? I'm like, okay, cool. My life is good now. I go back to my seat. I'm having a good time. After the game, my boy Austin Mills, shout out to Austin. He gives me these tickets to have the post game to stay post game and get autographs or pictures with any of the players that come out the locker room. So Vince Carter, I'm waiting for Vince Carter. I got my jersey on like a kid. I'm grown. I got my jersey on ready for Vince Carter to come out. I'm waiting on the court. I been warmed up on the court because I'm like, when he comes out here, I'm gonna do a slam dunk, and then I'm gonna have my friend record Vince Carter as his reaction. This is gonna be the best reaction of all time.
Yeah.
And so I do my slam dunk. Well, he comes out. And I'm like, yo, what's up, Vince? And then security stops me, like, give him a second. Give him a second. I'm like, all right, cool. All right, backing up. He's like 20 feet from me. And then I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm just going to go do this dunk. So I do a 360 windmill. And then my friend pans from me to him. And he just gets up and walks away. I don't know if he was going through something that day, so I'm not here to judge. But I'm like,
he got up and walked away.
Bro, he just got up, walked away, and I was embarrassed.
Damn.
I felt crushed. So I'm like, man, dang. It ain't a knock to Vince. I don't know what was going on that day. Hopefully, I don't know. Yeah, hopefully everything's alright. But
Vince Carter, if you're watching this, please let us know what happened.
Yeah, man. I don't know. He kind of played me that day. I was like, it sucked. But that was my time. I actually dunked in front of Vince Carter though. It just didn't go the way I planned it. I wanted a picture or autograph, but it's all good.
Yeah. And speaking of your idols, I know Vince Carter is one of your idols. Mm-hmm. Do you have any more?
Yeah. Right behind me, Kobe Bryant.
Rest in peace.
That's one of them. Then obviously like Muhammad Ali. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like guys like that, man, who just paved the way for athletes and standing up for your rights. So, yeah.
And going back to the last thing about dunk contest, do you think that, I know that you have your thoughts about dunk contest today, and a lot of people have also their thoughts about the dunk contest, but do you think the dunk contest is based on more popularity, or more showmanship, creativity?
Yeah, I think it's I don't know, man. I think the dunk contest needs a lot of work. I feel like, one, I feel as great as it's been, and shout out to the guys that competed in dunk contests. I'm just a person who I feel like All-Star Weekend should be for All-Stars. Mm-hmm. So there's no knock to the guys that have done it, because if I had the opportunity, I would do the same thing. But it should be All-Star Weekend. Like, it kind of contradicts itself. It's All-Star Weekend, but the people that, you don't have to be an All-Star to be in a 3-point contest. You don't got to be an All-Star to be in the dunk contest. You only have to be an All-Star to play in the All-Star game, in which they don't even play. Like, they work so hard to become All-Stars just to not play.
Yeah, just to not play at the All-Star game.
Yeah, so I feel like it. So when it comes to the dunk contest, I'm like, man, if you guys just make it just about All-Stars, then maybe these guys will, and maybe come up with a better concept. Make it fun, not so like intense, because there's so much pressure behind it. So that's why I think the biggest flaw comes in with the dunk contest.
That's the thing. If you remember, like in dunk contest in the mid 2010s, they started doing all these changes.
They had a wheel. They had to recreate a dunk. Like, okay, look, this is Dominique Wilkins doing a windmill. Now let me see you do a windmill. Yeah, that makes it a little more fun.
And they had like the East versus West, when they had 3 dunkers dunking at the same time.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of change, and then people said like, no, we want it old school. So they went back to old school, and then we had the Zach LaVine versus Aaron Gordon.
Yeah, and you don't get that too often, so.
And that's it.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Mm-hmm.
So you think that they should bring back, like, make it more fun, and add a little bit of spice to it?
Yeah, they need to do that, because I feel like, obviously they raised the bar with Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon, but I mean, if you make it fun, then you don't put so much pressure on yourself, I think the crowd will kind of ease up. But expecting somebody to do this never before seen dunk, or this dunk that they seen on the internet done by one of us who practices stuff, we do this for a living. and they want a player to go out there and do what we practice on for hours and days and years in one night. I feel like that's just a little unfair. Like that's why I always I look at the 3-point contest, even though we don't need to change the 3-point contest because it ain't broke, don't fix it. But you're shooting basic threes. It's not like they have a rack where they're like, all right, you got to turn around on every shot.
Yeah.
That would be something cool, but at the same time, it's like if you guys like it, then keep it up. But they're shooting basic shots when then the dunkers got to do impossible dunks.
And they had to talk, if I'm not mistaken, 1 or 2 years ago, that they said for the dunk contest because they don't want to, people don't want to see Mac McClung doing it all over again.
Won 3 times?
Yeah, 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
And so people said, or people suggested actually, that let's bring on 4 pro dunkers and give them a cash prize of $1 million and let them go at it because the NBA players, or as you said, the NBA All-Stars, they don't want to do it.
Right.
So, do you think should they
Okay, so this is my thing when it comes to the guys that are professionals and they do it. One, it would take completely away from All-Star Weekend, and I think that's stepping on toes. But if we were able to partner, maybe we were able to coach, or we were able to do a tandem with another NBA player, then I'm like, all right, that's and collaborating with the culture.
Yeah.
Collaborating with the guys. You already watch our dunks anyways on the internet. So
Exactly.
let's not go along from that. These guys are in their 20s. They're on Instagram and YouTube like anyone else. They see dunks, and it's us.
Yeah.
And then they go try to recreate it, and it's cool. But I mean, the guys and the people who are actually coaching these dunkers are guys from our culture.
Yeah.
So it's I feel like you should have a tandem of a pro dunker as well as an NBA dunker. And I think that'd be cool. I think that'll bridge the gap that we have right now. And then that could be something that maybe, could be a fun, exciting thing. And give us our platform as well. But you got to get the best pro dunkers because, if you mess up one time, they're like, get these guys out of here. They're just on the internet. They're not ready for the big lights.
I think the last time that they had coaches on the court, coaches or advocates for the dunk contest or for the dunkers, it was 2009 when Blake Griffin did it, or 2010.
Yeah, the coach?
Well, it's not a coach, but he had someone who told him what to dunk, which was Kenny Smith.
Oh, that's smart. Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah, no, that's good. That's actually, I think that's a pretty good concept. But maybe they should have us, maybe not Kenny right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, no, not Kenny, but come on, we're doing this. We're doing this present. We're currently doing this. This is so, Kenny did it back in the day.
True.
So.
And speaking of that, you did a lot of things outside of basketball as well. You acted.
Mm-hmm.
You acted. You have also a big social media following.
Mm-hmm.
How do you stay consistent? How do you still gain the motivation, and how do you still keep the love for the game to keep making content for people?
I mean, staying consistent that's just a characteristic, characteristic thing. I feel like if I'm not as a content creator, you working for yourself. So this is how you make your money.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't want to be consistent, believe me, your bank account will show that.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I think when I do certain videos, whatever, just the reaction I get when I'm out and about, and I'm out different countries, different cities, or whatever, and people say, "Oh yeah, I've seen your videos." So just to know that those videos are getting out there in the world means a lot to me. It makes me more motivated to go back home and work on my craft because I know people are seeing it, or they're subscribed to it, or if come across their channel. I woke up yesterday and I seen Usain Bolt.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of my videos. I'm like, dang, it's Usain Bolt. The fact that it's crossing his page, it's on his For You at some point. He's clicking on it and liking it. I'm like, all right, man. So if people are seeing this, now I'm more motivated, and it gives me that adrenaline to go out there and try to get creative. And I just try to elevate what I do in every facet and to say, all right, how creative can I get with this? First it came as just dunking the ball, but now we're adding so many other things to the mix, and there's so many different branches now to just slam dunk it. So yeah.
And how do you balance your life between being an athlete and entertainer?
You don't. There is no balance. You just take it where you can. Like, I mean, when it comes to like as far as entertaining, I mean, that doesn't happen as often as what we're doing with basketball and the events and stuff like that. So, you know, obviously when those opportunities come up for entertaining, when it comes to a commercial or movie or, you know, whatever event, you take those opportunities because, I mean, we're here in this city where your life can change in a day, you know, off one big opportunity. So I'm always, you know, trying to make myself available for that.
And how would people actually, so I'm going to rephrase that. How would you, sorry, I'm going to rephrase it again. What do you think people would learn and be surprised about when they learn that you're a professional dunker?
What would they learn? Well, one thing I would say people don't know about being a professional, that it's not a lot of money in this business. There's not a lot of money. Like, you know, guys who do this professional dunking, they really like to dunk. Now you can make some money by how you monetize it, but when it comes to just like professional dunking in these contests, like, yeah, I've had some contests where I've won $10,000, $20,000. I've won $50,000 in a dunk contest, but it's not too often that happens, and that's only if you win. If you don't win, then it's no money. There's no money, you know, like, so you gotta bank on, the contest that you win. I've been fortunate enough to win a lot of contests that have kept me stable, but then I had to start going over to learning how to monetize my content with my talent of slam dunking. So now I had to add that element of dunking into the content to now make it a full circle to be completely monetized and not wait on a slam dunk contest that happens every blue moon that I have to win in order to make money. And the fact is, I was entering a lot of dunk contests, so yes, I was being able to make money. But for the people who were second place, third place, they weren't making any money. We would go all the way to Europe. You go to Europe, you go to Australia, you lose that dunk contest, maybe you got a free flight to Australia, but you didn't make any money throughout this time.
So speaking of traveling, how was traveling the world for dunking made an impact on you?
It's made an impact on me because when I go to these places, just meeting new people, like, and being able to dunk in front of people that only see me on the internet, that are like, I only see you, you know, like, they're seeing me live for the first time, and they're like looking forward to seeing what they've seen on the internet, and to be able to do that and give them that experience makes a big difference for me. It makes me want to, when I come home, makes me want to stay in shape, be ready for any type of moment, because I love the reaction that I get when they are like excited to see me. I love that. I appreciate that, like, and humbled by it. So when I go home, I want to make sure I'm in shape, you know, because when the opportunity comes, I want to be ready. You know, I want to be the person that's like, no, I saw Chris Staples live, and you know, he the real deal. I want them to say that, you know.
You are real deal. I can say that from seeing you live.
Appreciate it.
So what's next for Chris Staples?
What's next, man? I mean, just continue to elevate. You know, continue to broaden change the game as much as I can. You know, and to just be able to set a standard for the next generation. You know, to be able to help people out who can dunk like myself, but you know, I want to be able to help them monetize it and be able to go to a different level and not just depend on slam dunk contests or just depend on a video going viral. To like, no, you can just be your own brand, use your talent, monetize it, and be bigger than a dunk contest, you know?
Yeah. And for all the young athletes over there that are trying to make a name for themselves, they're trying to make the league, because everybody's trying to make the NBA at some point.
Right.
And unfortunately, not everyone can be in the NBA. Mm-hmm. Not everyone can be a professional hooper. But there's a lot of people that look up to you, and they want to be like you sometimes. Or actually, like, they want to be like you. They want to be a pro dunker. They want to be a pro athlete, because they don't look at you as a dunker only. Right. They look at you as a professional athlete. What advice would you give a young athlete that's just starting his way, even though that he has some NBA dreams, but realistically wise, not everyone can still make it to the league. So what advice can you give them so they can shift maybe their inspiration and the motivation to keep playing basketball, but in the social media world?
In the social media world, like, I mean, okay, if you're a young athlete and you strive to play basketball, I would never say, like, you know, get ready for plan B because everyone can't make it to the NBA. Like, no, try to make it as far as you possibly can. If the NBA calls you, they call you. But it doesn't mean if they don't call you that you should stop playing basketball. Continue to push towards whatever dream you have, because something can happen out of that.
Yeah.
For me, I didn't make it to the NBA, but I still like playing basketball. Then I discovered slam dunking. Was like, oh man, I'm all right with the slam dunking thing. Don't know what I can do with it. And just like when I was in college and people were saying, well, I mean, it's cool, but you don't make no money from slam dunking.
Yeah.
Which they were right. But I continued to do it because I liked it. And eventually it made something start to transpire out of that. And now I'm still doing it. I'm still dunking. And that can happen with anyone in any type of field you're in. Continue to do it. If you got a passion for something, it will eventually become a world of its own, and eventually people will start to pay you to do it. If you're good enough at what you do, if you put enough hours in, you're going to become good at it. You're not going to be terrible at something for 10 years.
Yeah.
If you're practicing all the time, you're going to eventually be better. You're eventually going to be good, and that's what I did with slam dunking. I was doing it all the time. I eventually became really good at it. It became like second nature, and so. You know, when commercials came out and they were, and we need a basketball player. Okay, cool. I'm a basketball player. But then they would see me dunk the ball, and I'm like, that gave me these extra points. Now they're like, we're booking this guy because he's not just shooting the ball and dribbling. He can dunk, which a lot of people couldn't do. So I would just apply that same mentality, and I would tell that to anyone, any young person. And it doesn't have to be an athlete. It could be whatever your genre is, whether it be a dentist or whatever you like to do, just go hard at it, you know, and eventually you will start to see the results.
That's so for all the young athletes over there, even if you won't be able to be a pro athlete in the NBA or in the big leagues, you can still be a professional hooper nonetheless. We got a prime example over here, that's great advice of what you said. But now, when it's all said and done, how would you want the people to remember your legacy?
I want them to say that Chris Staples took a lot of chances. Like, I rolled the dice a lot. I wasn't sticking to one. I moved from a different state to here. I've tried television. I've taken a chance on television. I did movies. And all these things, I didn't have like a degree. I didn't go to acting school.
Yeah.
I didn't play college basketball, but I played with the Harlem Globetrotters. Like, I made it on this team without the accolades of having a college resume.
Yeah.
I've made it to a big screen, a TV show, without having any acting classes at all. No resume behind that, but because I was desiring to do it and kept my mindset right, I was able to do this type of stuff. So that's like, you know, that's where I just want people to focus on that type of stuff, and you can do it. Honestly, man, it sounds cliche, but I do, and I want people to remember that. Like, you know what, he don't care. He gonna try it regardless. You know, and so that's the goal.
And I hope, me personally, I hope that you never retire, to be honest. Because you bring on a great vibe to the court, you bring on great creativity as well, you bring on a great personality as well. You're very also, like, as I said in the beginning, you're a very humble guy, and you don't see that a lot from people who has a great following or a big following behind them. Sometimes people can be a little bit, you know, arrogant, a little bit of show off, a little bit of Hollywood, as the people say. But with me encountering a lot of people like that, I never seen that in you, and that's one of the things I really appreciate. And I always remember that Chris Staples is not, he is more than a dunker.
I appreciate it. And I never want to say, retire. I don't even like that word, to be honest with you. because I feel like it's like, you know, I don't even want, like, I appreciate people who like give me flowers. That's like, no, man, I'm giving you flowers now, but I'm like, you know, I don't want to accept them because I accept me slowing down. I don't want to slow down. Like, I thank you, but I'm gonna put these flowers over here. I'm gonna keep going, you know, because so I wouldn't say retire. So I was gonna be like evolving into something else, transitioning into different things. But to say I'm retired, like, I don't want to go that route. Not yet. I'm not in that mindset yet of retiring, because I feel like that's where you stop, you slow down. That's where you letting the next man pass you up.
Yeah.
And someone obviously will pass me up in some way, but I'm like, I should be on to the next thing by the time they pass me up. Where I'm like, oh, I don't do that anymore. But that was cool. Like, I'm doing something different now. So that's my goal, at least, and that's to keep climbing, you know, to stay hungry, and hopefully I continue to build up and continue to create an appetite for myself in the next transition, whatever I do next, you know.
Yeah. So Chris, I thank you personally of being the first guest on IMB podcast, because you got into a bag in a very early age, and that's the whole point of this show, of this podcast. So I thank you for being the first one. It's not gonna be the last one as well. We still got a whole season coming up.
Oh yeah, we're gonna debate. Because I feel like me and you, we disagree on some things.
Oh yeah,
the Knicks.
We disagree on a lot of things.
Yeah, this whole Knicks thing, we need to stop it.
The Knicks will win a championship 2025.
Are they getting Giannis? They getting Giannis?
No.
No, then they're not winning.
We don't need Giannis to be a championship team.
They are good, but the Pistons were better than them. You know that. Giannis should go to the Pistons, but we'll talk about that another day.
Yeah, we'll talk about it another day. I appreciate everybody who tuned in, who stuck to the last minute. Appreciate you guys. We'll see you in the next episode. Peace.
Peace.